I mean, I also will say this about Trump that is pretty interesting. Of course, he's beloved in Israel like nobody ever has been, for good reason. He did more for Israel than any other president. And he didn't play the silly game that the other presidents do, like, well, we have to be even, Steven. You know, maybe who knows who's right? The people who treasure life or the people who treasure death?
Right.
And he was like, where would you live, Ramallah or Tel
Right,
Aviv?
right.
You'd live in Tel Aviv,
Right.
a society that resembles yours and has shared values. You know, not letting women be free to dress as they want and covering their faces and stuff. That's not our values.
No.
Are you kidding? So he said, no, I'm with Israel.
Period.
Let's see how this works out. I'm with Western values.
Right.
I think democracy is better than theocracy. Now, we can also go into the discussion about how the horrible things he's actually doing to democracy in this country. But for this discussion just about the Middle East, how about this? The Jews love him more than any president ever. And the Arabs do too.
Right.
That's quite a hat trick.
Right.
You got to give it up for that one.
Right.
That's quite a trick.
Right.
That the Saudi Arabia, they all, they kind of relate on you like gold, everything?
Right.
I like gold,
Right,
everything.
right.
And also the Trump doctrine is really, we don't judge you. You know what? You cut the head off a journalist. Yeah, I wouldn't do it, but I'm just not going to judge. Now,
Right.
you can say that's right or wrong, but here's the facts. Biden wouldn't talk to him for a year after that, and then had to. He went over there and he fist bumped the guy who did it, the guy who said, we're not talking to you anymore, because it's Saudi Arabia. You can't ignore them.
You can't.
They're the counterweight to Shiite Iran, and they are the people who have the oil.
Yep.
So you can't not deal. So, again,
It's a fucking miracle that he got those people home, the 20 people home.
it's
unbelievable.
well,
And I'll tell you something, as crass as I've been on him, his first term.
but but just on the Israel tip, I mean, yes, you people who can't give it up, people who can't accept an apology. We in the peak woke period, it was one of the things that was so obnoxious about it. Was that people would be forced to apologize half the time for bullshit, like Halloween costume level bullshit. And then the apology itself
It was not good enough.
was attacked.
Right. The apology's not good enough.
Never good
No.
enough.
He didn't. Did he mean when he said, I sincerely apologize? Was he sincere when he said, I'm sincerely apologizing?
It was so Soviet, like you had to literally do what they did in the Soviet Union. I would like to thank my accusers for pointing out what a piece of shit I am. I will do better and you just want to for the people who wonder, why did you turn on the left? I didn't turn on the left. They became something, part of them became something gross, and I just commented on it like I comment on everything. I just didn't ignore it like these other people do. I didn't change how I felt about the right and the horrible things they were doing, but I just, that kind of moralistic, smug,
It's fucking ridiculous.
petty bullshit.
It makes me sick.
The bitches and snitches
Yeah.
culture, the people who hate the bullying so much but
Yeah.
wind up being the biggest bullies.
Yeah.
There's something viscerally about that.
Yeah.
That's almost more aggravating
Yes.
than the stuff that I know intellectually is more dangerous on the right.
Yes.
But this kind of stuff just makes you want to.
Yeah. They need to start sticking motherfuckers back in the lockers. They got to start doing that.
It's such mean girl.
It's terrible.
It's just yeah.
To judge the apology, to analyze the apology isn't good enough. You can't breathe, and it's so bad. It's so fucking bad, and I mean, I think apologizing, changing, growth, all that shit is good.
Yeah.
It should be commended. Not.
I had Van Jones on the last show
Right,
you did.
that was-
I just found out the other day. Somebody said
Oh, he's been getting ripped for that.
I didn't even realize it. That's, I guess.
Do you watch the show?
I watched
No,
the
I'm
show,
teasing.
but see, that's the thing. No one cared at the time, and I've been through these
At the
scandals.
moment.
Right. When I got canceled off ABC for what I said about the terrorists, nobody cared at the time, and nobody cared at the time or in the audience what Van said. It's just these people afterwards who
clips.
live. Well, they live to find something.
Well, your show Saturday is the day to like Saturday. You know, like with the sports, you go ESPN, you watch the highlights. Saturday's to get the reaction on Twitter.
Well, of course, people do see it on Friday also because it's on. But
I'm saying the reaction.
Well,
like the blow. You're trending on Twitter every Saturday morning.
What I'm saying is good. What I'm saying is that people, there are certain people, the kind we don't like, bro, who just live to find something. I always call them is this something people? Is it, Van Jones said, and he was making a joke which was not in any way an expense or mocking the dead in Gaza. It was a comment on social media. And of course, you can purposely misinterpret. That's what happened to me when I said, we have been the cowards. These people who attacked the building, not cowards.
Right.
Which is technically true, and certain conservatives like Rush Limbaugh defended it. He said, Bill's right. You know what? They stayed with the suicide mission. They're not cowards.
Right.
We're lobbing cruise missiles from 1,000 miles away. You can pretend that I was criticizing the military, which is what they did, but they know better. That's called bad faith. And that's what they just did with Van. Bad faith. You know that's not what he meant.
Yeah.
You know it's not at their, but doesn't matter. You can get the other useful idiots to believe it, and they do. And so I think he did have to apologize or something. But I mean, if I do something really terrible, I will apologize. And I'm a fan of apologies. It's a sign of growth and bigness and lots of other good things, but not for bullshit.
I agree.
If anybody comes after me for that kind of stuff, and I just you have to say you're sorry, and it's that level stupid, I'm just going to go, nope. You know what? I've had 33 years on television. If this is what you want to throw me out for, fine.
Right.
I don't need any more money.
Right. That's good.
And I'm gonna quote Michael Corleone in Godfather 2 when Senator, you can have my answer now. My offer is this: nothing, not even the price of the gaming license, which I'd appreciate if you would put up personally.
You pay for it, motherfucker.
I'll just say that and let that. They'll be like, what is that? And then beside 2 seconds, somebody will be like, no. That was from The Godfather.
Right, and the guy will be back. That's a good way to go out.
Yeah, that is a good way to go out. Yeah. Because when I was canceled...
Did you ever have Diane Keaton on?
No, but I would have loved to.
The late, great.
What happened there? We don't know, huh?
I don't know.
She kept... Talk about packing a tight suitcase. No one... That's so like her.
Yes.
Classy. Like, I'm not going to burden anybody with it. One day they're just going to open the paper and I'll be dead. And nobody will have, I won't have to endure their stupid pity that doesn't help. I won't have to endure because I wouldn't want that either. Like, if I'm on my way out, let's just not talk about it.
Right.
Unless you have an actual solution.
Right.